Hello there, Sagittarius, and welcome to your April forecast. I hope that your month is getting off to a great start, and I can't wait to see what kind of information is coming through for you this month. As most of you know, I like to begin each month with a little bit of channeled information. Now, the way that I arrive at that is I meditate on your sign, and I also do some automatic writing. As I was doing that for you this month, I got a few messages that came through. The core of that message was to release fear. It said, don't be afraid of a second chance. The past doesn't always have to repeat itself, especially if you've learned your lessons and moved past ego and fear. So this month, there may be a chance to go back and fix something, maybe an argument in a relationship that fell apart because of that. You might have a second chance at that. There may be some sort of an opportunity that you didn't succeed at the first time, but a door opens again. Maybe someone is interested in helping you out or taking you on when in the past they said, we're not interested, or they passed on you. So this month, if you feel good about it, you really want to kind of tune into your internal compass. If it feels good, then it might be worth taking that opportunity. If there's something that's making you nervous, afraid, or apprehensive, take a look at what the core of that is. Remembering again that the second part of this was to release fear and ego. And once you've moved past that, then you can judge the situation for its merits. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the card portion of the reading. What I do with this is I start off with a Celtic cross, and then I expand the forecast to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. This allows me a chance to look at the overarching messages and then also kind of take care of all of those main categories that I know most folks are interested in. I'm going to turn the camera down, and at this point I'm normally quiet because, just like you, I like to pay attention to where the cards are, and sometimes I receive additional intuitive downloads when I'm pulling. So let's see what's coming through now. And in addition to the regular Celtic cross, I add an additional card in all of my readings. I refer to this as the catalyst. The catalyst, as its name implies, sets the month in motion, but it also connects these like a thread would. So it helps us draw connections and similarities between all of the action that's happening. So your catalyst this month is the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups card is one where you sometimes have too much to think about. There's almost an overabundance of opportunity. Now, the great thing, and the word that I'd like to underline here is abundance. And as we look here at this dove, I want you to realize that you're being divinely guided to make the choice that best suits you. So you don't have to wait too long to make that decision. And I like this one because when we're looking at it, the seventh cup is on really on her crown chakra. So I want you to tune into your highest self and think about everything that might be going on, and you should be able to discern what's most important, especially if you're sort of wrangling some sort of a decision and trying to figure out what the most important or the best outcome is. I feel like you intuitively already know, so allow that to be your guide, or ask for a sign or a symbol from the universe. So once you've sort of clarified and taken the scope and limited it a bit, I feel like this month is going to be a lot more manageable. As we look at the cards, it feels like everything's actually headed in a good direction this month. Your center card is the World. I've seen this in a few signs. This is showing big sweeping changes actually, because the World is an end and a beginning card. And so for you, the overall energy this month is you being able to kind of clear the slate and start something else big. It's almost like if you create a sandwich and you're taking a big bite. That's sort of what I'm getting. This month is that big bite. There's a lot to take in, and you're going to have to kind of take your time. You don't have to do it all at once. That's what this message is with the World card. Sometimes the World is 4 seasons as well. It's 1 solar year. So I feel like you're starting a new, even though we're in April and it's not January or it's not the summer, it doesn't matter. I feel like you're starting a new 12-month cycle, and within the, or I should say by the end of this 12 months, you'll be in a completely different situation than you are right now. Everything is able to shift if you allow it to do so. Crossing that center card is Temperance, and that was sort of what I was talking about. Don't try to eat the whole sandwich at once. Take each bite, savor it, and remember that you have time. You don't have to. In fact, if you think of overeating or eating too fast, you always end up with like a stomach ache or indigestion. So I want you to savor each moment, savor each day, relax, and know that you're headed on the right path. Change can be a little bit nerve-wracking, and that might be why Temperance is involved with that card as well. Now, as we look at your deep past, we have the Two of Pentacles here. It's reversed, and what's important for you is to remember that this is all about reciprocity, and I feel like this Two of Pentacles has a lot more to do with relationships than it does, and I would say the energy you're putting into relationships than it does money. But for some of you, this can be a money card, and if it is related to your budget, this is about kind of cutting it a little too thin, making sure that you are putting in more padding, putting more money into savings, spending a little bit less, etc. When it comes to your energy, it's about making sure that you're making the right sacrifices. We have children here, so if you have family or if you have loved ones, pets, etc., make sure that you're spending enough time with them. Have time to just play and enjoy yourself, and that's going to be essential to your overall balance. As we look at what's affecting you towards the very beginning of the month here, your recent past, we have the Magician card in reverse. At its core, the Magician is a great card. It's one where you can manifest, you can manage a lot of things at once, and when you set your mind to something, anything's possible. There's a magnetic quality to this card. But much like the Seven of Cups, there can be an abundance, or an overabundance, I should say, of options, and it's important to focus. When you look at this, this really is about a single point. It's not about everything else on the table. The Magician can access everything, but doesn't necessarily need or want to. So what's important for you, just like we were talking about not taking such a big bite, I would say the same is true of things that you decide to bring into your life and into your energy. Smaller pieces and smaller components are going to be so much better than overwhelming yourself. So limit the scope, limit the focal point, and I think that you're going to be able to better deal with the challenges ahead of you. And if there is sort of a lot that's coming at you at once, it's really about breaking it down into priorities and figuring out what the first wave and the second wave and the third wave would be of how to attack this. So if there is a bigger piece, it's about taking the pieces apart so that you can understand it. And part of that entails taking your time, okay? Your crowning card is the Five of Swords. And with this one, it's about trying to create momentum in your life and not letting other people or disappointments from the past, we touched on that a little bit earlier, pull you back. Now is the time to take your lessons, to take the insight from past experiences and move forward without fear or without regret or even second thoughts. Now, I want to turn the camera down for a second and show you two cards here. Your near future card is the Emperor, and your ego card is the Five of Wands. What we see in the Five of Wands, even though it's reversed here, I'm going to turn it up right, is a struggle, a power struggle. And with the card reversed, it's showing me that there might be some doubt or uncertainty over whether you're able to take on whatever it is that's coming your way. This Emperor card here in the near future is showing me, yes, you can, and you have to believe in that. There may be something that comes through this month where you're challenged to stand up for yourself, to articulate why something has to happen a certain way. It's a leadership opportunity for you. It doesn't matter if you're a leader or not. This is a moment where you decide to take the initiative and make something happen. So know that you are supported in that regard this month, and that you do have the power to move forward. And I don't know if you've ever done arm wrestling. I haven't done it for a long time because as an adult it doesn't make sense. But I do remember as a kid, sometimes it was just, you think, I can do this, and you get that second win and you can push the other person. You're gonna have to sort of just believe and then push. And I think if you do that, you'll be able to, if you're feeling a little lethargic, be able to kind of push through that energy. That can sometimes be what the Five of Wands indicates. Or if there's someone else and they're sort of testing you, just like a small animal would or a kid would, you're going to be strong and say, no, this is the way this is going to be done. Because the Emperor is also like a father figure, a very strong energy that knows what is right and wrong and doesn't take no for an answer. When I'm looking at your environment this month, as far as money goes and resources go, it seems like you have a lot, but I am concerned that there may be a sort of tapping out of this, or a temptation to maybe overexert yourself. So we've got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I would say the fact that your deep past shows Two of Pentacles means that if you've made good strides, that doesn't mean now that you can kind of overspend. You should save and put more padding in the long-term savings and investments if possible. And if there is a lot of expenses that are coming through this month, use this Emperor energy that I'm seeing here in the near future and see if you can negotiate a way out of it. If, again, maybe you do have to make a big purchase. If you do, if it's a car, if it's a house, if it's some other item, then you need to go in there with all the research and be strong on the price points and say, you know what, I've looked at 3 other items or houses or whatever that you're trying to purchase, and this price seems like it's about 5% too high. This is where I think we should go. Put it out there and put the data in front of people, and that's going to put you in a much stronger place. And then overall, this is about making sure that you're the one that's looking at your checkbook, another common thread that I've been picking up on this month. Don't let other people make the money decisions. So if you're in a partnership, or if you have roommates or whatever, make sure that you're all contributing and make sure that you're signing your checks to your bank account. And be careful about who you're letting into your bank account as well. As we look at your inspiration, your opportunities, your hopes and fears, I feel like there's a lot of energy coming through this month as far as ideation, new ideas, and the ability to bring that to other people. So this is really coming through for you around weeks 3 and 4, but it's worth the wait. And if there's anything that you can do to tap into that and make use of that, please do that. If you're trying to schedule some sort of a difficult project or something that requires a lot of energy, the latter part of the month is also looking good for that. But I see your vitality turning around by month's end, which is good. And when we look at your outcome card for this month, we have the 9 of Wands. And the interesting thing here is what we talked about in the channeled message was releasing fear, and we have a scarecrow here. 9 of Wands I normally associate with courage, perseverance, persistence, and strength, but strength after a long fight. So whatever it is you're trying to do, I feel like you're near complete, but this card is coming through because you might be scared off, or you might have this momentary doubt where you think, should I still be doing this? Do I have what it takes to do it? This card is reminding you absolutely you do, and don't let something come through and take you off a path that you've fought so hard to really master and manage. So I feel like you're in a very good space. Don't give up. And also when it comes to health and vitality, you seem like you're in a good space as well. The only thing that I would say when it comes to health, and we're going to go deeper in that in a second, is you might be sitting too much. You may not be stretching your extremities, your legs, your arms as much as you should. So get up and walk around a little bit, because a lot of these cards feel a little too stationary for me. All right, speaking of the extended forecast, we're going to now take a look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. All right, let's take a look now and see what your love card has to say for the month of April. And there are actually 2 cards, so I'm going to honor that and look at both of them. The first one says, "My vibes speak louder than my words." And this really has to do with how you are feeling emotionally within, and how that's also connecting to other people. So if you're not feeling good, or if you're not feeling right, then this energy is what other people are picking up on. So you want to focus on your internal vibration by meditation. So the first piece of information is to meditate a little bit more, to acknowledge your emotions, but then try to work past them through the meditation. The second component is the universe has my back, which I love. And I want you to believe that you are able to make the change that you'd like. This is almost the difference between night and day. And I believe that if you can start to change the way you think and you feel, your body's going to follow suit. So if you've been going through any sort of difficulties within your physical self, or if you've been having difficulty in just having self-love, these 2 cards are showing you that the mere act of thinking, I'm okay, I'm gonna be all right, I'm gonna push through this, and then believing that you can make it happen, that you're supported, then your body will let go of whatever it's holding on to. Sometimes it's water, sometimes it's weight, sometimes it's pain. And so it has to start here and here, and then the body is going to integrate that as well. Let's take a look now at your wealth card, looking at career, looking at money, and other opportunities in your life. and your message surrounding wealth is yin and yang. So this is all about balance, basically, and making sure that things are reciprocated. So if you are putting money into anything or energy into anything, if you're not seeing the type of return that you want, this card is really encouraging you to shift the balance. And it's also about balancing your all of your accounts, making sure that the debt to available credit and debt to your savings account, everything is within proper balance. And so that's your goal this month, is if anything's shifted and is not quite where you'd like it to be, it's time now to find a way to bring that into equilibrium. Let's look at your love card. Love can be any sort of relationship in your life. Oftentimes it's about romance, but it can also be other personal relationships that you may be experiencing. Let's see what the message is for love. So we have a transformation card. Now this came through reverse, but I'm going to turn it upright because we need to be able to see it. Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. So this is a chance for you to really rethink, and in some cases maybe walk away from a relationship. But if you decide to stay in it, there's a transformation and you're able to rise above the past. And that really goes along with the original message, which was don't be afraid of second chances. If you are past the fear, the anger, the emotions, you can work it out. If not, you might need that time and space. And in the future, you can always decide if you want to come back. One way or the other, though, you're going to be faced with some sort of an opportunity to transform an old relationship and hopefully emerge stronger. That's why the Phoenix is there. Just remember that sometimes even the most passionate and angry arguments can end up being okay because you've gotten out all of that energy. What's important is what you do with it afterwards. Do you hold on to the pain that you felt when you said what you said, or when whatever happened, or can you start to kind of think through it and wonder how it began and why it kind of precipitated into some sort of a weird argument, and then find out what you want to do with it. So really the choice is yours, but I do feel like if you choose to embrace it, the transformation card is good. That allows you to take something that wasn't maybe ideal and bring it into a more favorable place. Let's now take a look at your Destiny card. Destiny is cosmic GPS. If you like the direction that you're headed in, you can stick with it, and if you don't, then you can shift. And that's really what this allows you to do. It's a course correction if you choose to do so. So your GPS this month, it's the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups, it's interesting. I think it actually fits nicely. It's a continuation of the Love card. This is a card where sometimes you need to leave, but whenever someone, I do a reading for them and this card comes through and they ask this question, can I get back together with someone that I love? Is it truly over? This card is about leaving a little bit of space, leaving an opportunity to come back. But what's important is sometimes you need to walk away and discover who you are. The other piece of this card is this is a great time for you if you want to plan a vacation, not necessarily to book it right now, but to sort of plan ahead and figure out what you want maybe towards August of this year, because I feel like this could be a great soul affirming and soul searching journey where you come back also feeling like you know who you are, what you want, and that you're ready to sort of spread your wings. So for those of you that aren't really dealing with any sort of crisis with a relationship or any sort of old second chance that's coming around, this is really hearkening to the future, which is think about what it is you want to bring into existence and maybe take a trip, get inspired, go somewhere else. The 8 of Cups is allowing you to do that and showing you that you might find a piece of yourself that you'd forgotten on that trip. Let's go ahead now and bring everything into focus. As I said at the beginning, your channeled information was to be unafraid, to embrace a second chance. The past doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen again. It's something that you can learn from, and once you've let go of your ego and your connection to the fear associated with that, then a second chance is possible. Your catalyst card was the 7 of Cups here, and with this there's a need to focus on your intuition. Again, looking at that 7th cup right on her crown chakra. You already know what it is that you need to do. Follow that. Don't let all of the distractions lead you astray. Your central card was the World. Big ends, big beginnings, also a connection to one solar pass around the sun. So 1 year, I feel like everything's going to shift for you. Over the course of this month and over this year, remember to take it easy. That's what Temperance is reminding you here. Your resources in the past seem to have been tapped out a little bit. There may be an additional sort of overextension that could happen this month. Keep that in check. Know that you have a lot at your disposal and you don't have to overdo it this month. Stay focused. It's going to be essential for you to get back to your ability to manifest. Be strong in your decision-making process. Know that sometimes it is okay, even appropriate, to just move forward. Take what you can from the past and don't hold on to everything. The Emperor card is about really trying to be in control this month, especially when it comes to your finances. The Five of Wands reminding you that you have the strength to overcome any challenges that might come your way, especially if there's a strong personality attached to that. Again, we talked at length about the Ten of Pentacles. There might be a lot of people in your life that are asking for your support. This can come in the way of a friend or family member asking for money. Remember, it's okay to say no. Your vitality is looking really good towards the end of the month, and I feel that you're very close to the end of a stage here. The Ten of Wands is usually a moving card, a movement card, and the world is a hint that that's coming, but I think that you still have, at least half of the year ahead of you where you're going to be finishing up whatever it is that you're working on. So be patient, be diligent, don't give up. Don't be afraid. We talked about the Scarecrow initially. There were 2 cards that came through for your health. The first one is to really focus on the idea that it will be okay. Knowing and believing that that can happen can change the energy and also the way your body is feeling from the inside out. Also believing that the universe has your back. And once you have that belief and you realize that everything's being set up for you, it's not happening to you, it's happening for your well-being, then you realize, I can manage this. Then your body, your mind, and your spirit starts to shift as well. When we look at wealth, it's all about balance. Balancing your money, your time, your energy, your resources, making sure that you're not overextending in any one direction. Again, the Two of Pentacles from the past is coming back in that card. There's a transformation moment that's happening in many relationships. Forgiveness is possible if you're ready, and if not, then take some time and space. Take as much as you need. There's room to come back when and if that time feels right. Also in the future, looking more at August, really good time to take a vacation for those of you that are ready for some sort of an adventure. So that brings our reading for this month to a close. I hope it gave you the insight and the energy that you need to navigate this month. If you ever have something that is more personal and you need a one-on-one reading, look at the first link under the video. You'll see that there's a link there that will take you to my website. You can check out my rates and availability. I'd be happy to set up an appointment with you. If you'd like to support this channel, that second link will allow you to give a donation if that's something that you're moved to do. Even something as small as $1 makes a big difference. It allows me to continue to purchase new cards and also to just keep up with the cost of production. And if you'd like to stay connected to me, the third link will allow you to join me on all my social media sites. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I also have a newsletter, so feel free to connect there. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel and also opt into notifications. That way you'll know when I post new videos. I like to end every video with a little bit of gratitude. Gratitude for the fact that you've spent the last half hour or so with me, but more importantly that you're working on yourself. And you've been doing this, for many of you, over the past 2 or 3 years. I think by continuing to develop your skills, develop your empathy, and your compassion for humankind, you're creating light. And this aggregate collection of light I talked about last month, it looks like a chain that you're creating across the planet. But as you start to continue to grow taller and stronger, it's almost like you rise above like a lighthouse. And that's really what we need in these times when people are confused, when there's a lot of disruption in the world right now. If we could have all of these lighthouses as well, then the darkness is not going to prevail. There'll be a balance. And that's really the goal. I'm trying to help balance out the equation, just like that yin and yang card that I pulled earlier. So know that you're part of that, and know that I take great happiness in being able to help sort of spark that light. But it's up to you to continue to grow that energy and grow that flame within. So please do that, and know that if we do this together, this planet's going to be in great shape. I believe in hope and the capacity for change. Please do the same. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.